Senua is the child of Galena, a priestess healer, and Zimbel, a druid. Her mother suffered from mental illness and believed that her symptoms of psychosis were in fact unique abilities which she labelled the Sight, allowing her to communicate with the souls of the underworld. Galena tells Senua that she too possesses the Sight, and this is because Senua too suffers from mental illness, even from a young age. Her mother is very supportive of this and encourages Senua not to be afraid and to embrace it. This clashes with the opinion of her father, who believes her mother's mental illness, and in turn her own, is a curse that defies the gods. Senua's parents' relationship deteriorates due to this, resulting in Zimbel beating and abusing his wife in attempts to silence the voices and to deter her visions. Galena's refusal to accept the ways of the gods only fuels Zimbel's anger. For most of Senua's life, she believed that her mother took her own life when she was just 5 years old in order to escape the darkness within her. She later discovers she had repressed the true reality. The reality that her father had led a mob to burn her alive. The reality that her father had made her watch her mother's death as a lesson not to defy the gods, and as a warning not to let the darkness, as he called it, manifest inside her. These traumatic events only worsened Senua's illness, whilst adding a festering paranoia towards this so-called darkness within her. Zimbel recognises the curse and takes extreme measures in order to suppress it and to stop it spreading to others. He does this by isolating Senua, only allowing her out for simple errands such as gathering herbs. On one of these errands, Senua witnessed a warrior, Dillian, practicing elegant swordplay as if dancing. Inspired by what she had seen, she too practices the ways of the warrior. One day, after Dillian's spies are practicing, he approaches Senua and suggests she try her hand in the warrior trials. Infatuated with Dillian's understanding, kind personality, they fall in love, and through his support and encouragement, Senua decides to defy her father by leaving home to be with Dillian. Zimbel is enraged by this and cries out that she will have blood on her hands for unleashing her darkness upon the outside world. Some time later, Senua, Dillian and some other village warriors came across a river. Upon closer inspection, Senua sensed there was something wrong. She could taste the rot within it. The others, ignoring her distress, dismissed her warning and continued on through the river. When they returned to the village, so too did a deadly plague. It killed many, including Dillian's father, the village chieftain. Once the other warriors on the river that day realised Senua sensed this impending rot, they quickly remembered the rumours caused by her father and began to turn on her, accusing her of bringing the plague back upon them. Senua too remembers her father's words, how he warned her there would be blood on her hands. Her paranoia grows so great that she begins to think Dillian blames her for his father's death. So, grief-stricken, Senua decides it would be safer for everyone, including her love, if she were to face her darkness on her own. She sets out to the forest, but promises Dillian she will one day return. It was in this self-inflicted exile where she meets Druth, a scholar who was severely injured. Druth formerly went under the name Findon, during which time he was enslaved by Vikings, which he calls the Northmen. He was the perfect choice for a slave, as he was well travelled and can speak various languages. Findon was brutally tortured into giving up locations of various villages and settlements, which would then be pillaged by the Northmen. It was on one of these raids on Orkney that he was able to escape and run into the wilds, where Senua now finds him, reborn as Druth. Senua tends to his wounds while listening to his various stories about the Northmen, depicted through the Lorestones. Senua could only sustain Druth for so long before he finally succumbed to death. Senua eventually returns to her village, only to find it has fallen victim to one of the Northmen attacks. She finds her beloved Dillian amongst the dead, sacrificed in the vicious blood eagle method. The trauma of this sends Senua's illness into severe psychosis and distorts her reality with the stories she heard from Druth. She becomes obsessed with resurrecting Dillian and remembers the story of Hela, the goddess of the underworld who resides in Helheim. It is said she is capable of bringing back the dead, and so Senua takes her beloved's head, the vessel of the soul, and seeks out Helheim. It is at this point where most of the gameplay takes place, and the battle with Hela and the darkness represents Senua overcoming the lingering psychological effects her father had over her. When she finally reaches Helheim and drops Dillion's head into the abyss, it does not bring him back, but signifies that she is now able to let go of the guilt she felt regarding his death. She realises now that she is not responsible for the terrible things that happened in the past, and that it was merely her father's abuse that made her think this way. Rot and voices do not go away, as there is no cure, but she can now accept that they are just part of who she is, and they always will be. She is now in control of her illness, rather than letting it control her. There is also an interesting revelation. If you collect all 48 Lorestones, you receive an additional cutscene in which Druth reveals the previously mentioned truth about his time as a slave and the part he had to play in revealing the locations for Northman attacks. But he also reveals a more sinister secret. He was not responsible for the attack on Orkney, in which Dillion and the others were slaughtered. Instead, he claims it was a man in black who sold out his people in order to gain safe passage. It is widely considered that the man in black is indeed Zembel, Senua's father.
But I wasn't the only one. Another came to the Northmen willingly, offering a bargain, a man in black from your lands. And he was offered safe passage for his treason. In the end, Senua, it isn't the gods that cause us